Hi everyone, Joel Ong here. In this video, I'll be sharing about my process and my templates that I use for my lesson prep and lesson projections. Through this video, I hope to share about some tips and tricks I've acquired as a teacher in the hopes that it will benefit future educators. Links to the templates of the files that I use can be found in the description below, so please feel free to use and adapt from it. You're currently looking at a Google document titled SOW Jong, SOW standing for Scheme of Work, Jong being my nickname. On this page, you will see several things. On the left side of the page, you will see the document outline. At the top, you have the quick links and quick links to the different terms and weeks through the year. At the top of the document, you have a quick links table, which if you click upon it, will direct you to the respective scheme of works or unit plans and also the subject folders. Now, this obviously works because my entire workflow and all of the files that I have are all located on the Google Drive itself. So accordingly, you can just embed a quick link and that allows you to access the files really very easily. And obviously, the mainstay of this will be the table itself, with the different columns indicating the days in the week, different rows indicating both the term and week numbers, along with the different subjects and classes that I teach. Now, what pain points does this table help to overcome? The context is I'm a humanities teacher. I teach history and social studies at the secondary school or high school level. And the context is that I teach many different classes across many different days. And so while I may be teaching the same topic, say the reasons why Singapore and Malaysia merged in 1960s, I may be teaching the same topic to the same level of students, but the pace of each class is different. And accordingly, where I start and end each class is going to be a little bit different. And as such, I need some kind of table. I need some kind of centralized place where I can record down where I start and end with each class. Okay. The second purpose of this table is that it helps me to do my lesson projection because we know across the school year there are many disruptions to the school calendar. So for instance, you might have a youth day school holiday that prevents you from meeting your class, or you might have an O-level listening comprehension exam which will block out 2 periods. Now, if you have such a system, you can very easily and quickly scroll through to identify when are the periods of time where you might miss because of holidays or because of certain school events. And accordingly, you can do your lesson projection accordingly. Okay. And finally, the last problem that I typically use this Google document for is to embed all of my lesson resources. Now, this overcomes the hassle of constantly having to locate your different PowerPoint presentations, your different lesson handouts, because everything's embedded here. So for instance, all I gotta do, if I'm teaching the topic of merger, I'll just embed the link here. With one click, I can access both my lesson slides and also my lesson handouts very easily. Okay. This may not seem like a very big issue, but when compounded across the different sets of classes, across the different weeks, this could be a time-saving approach. Now, what is the broad concept of this table? It serves to create a functional dashboard where you can access all of your relevant files and all your important links with just a click. So one of the things and links that we will most commonly access will be our scheme of work, which outlines what you should be teaching across the year, and also your unit plans, which supposedly show the micro, generic, week-by-week breakdown. We might also want to access our respective subject folders. In the past, I used to use a Google Sheets document, which looks very similar. It has the advantage of allowing you to be able to hide the different weeks that have passed. Okay, so all you gotta do is just hide the rows, and the week that you're immediately teaching will be the one that's most visible to you. Now, why do I choose to use the Google Docs instead of Google Sheets? For the simple reason that as of the time of this video, Google Docs has certain other features which are quite powerful. So for instance, there's this Smart Chips feature. Now, what is a Smart Chips feature? Okay, a Smart Chips feature allows you to embed like a link. So for example, if I'm just grabbing this link to the Google Sheets, and if I embed it in, like, say here, term 3, week 2, 2E2, Google is smart enough to detect that you are trying to embed a file through that link. And instead of having the big ugly URL being listed here, it will tidy it up into a smart chip. And thereafter, all I gotta do is just click on this smart chip, you'll be able to access it. Okay, so because you can embed links in such a convenient and easy manner, I think that's one of the advantages that Google Docs affords. Okay. Secondly, if you realize my Google Docs looks a little bit different, it doesn't have the typical A4 structure. The reason for that, let me just quickly show you, is under the page setup, Google Docs has this new feature where you can set it up. The traditional setup is in terms of pages, where you set an A4 page, you can set your margins. But recently, they have allowed this pageless feature, which allows you to have just break out the borders. You can create very, very big tables. Okay. And the third feature that Google Docs allows is this quick links feature, the document outline. Okay, now how does the Google Docs detect that I want these term 3, week 1, week 2, these are to be identified as a quick links? All you gotta do is to highlight the respective words and then just change the document settings here. So because it applies the heading 3 or the heading feature to this, Google Docs is smart enough to automatically add these under the document outline. Okay, yeah. So this is basically it for the video. Feel free, once again, the purpose of this video is to share just basic tips and tricks that I've acquired in the hopes that, maybe it will benefit other educators. The general principle behind this kind of system is reflected by what this productivity expert David Allen said. He says that your mind is for having ideas, not storing them. Okay? Obviously, I can use my physical brain to memorize where I have left off with individual classes. I can remember what I plan to do. But instead of using my limited brain space to memorize these inane details that I might actually forget, why not I just outsource all of these onto a reliable system? Okay, if I can dump all of my thoughts and lesson plans and projections onto this system, then it becomes a reliable system. Because with this same system, I can record down the progress of my class. I can project the upcoming week's lessons. I can recall the deadlines I've issued for different assignments, and also even jot down notes and follow-ups for individual students from the different classes. Okay. Once again, you can find this template under the video description. Feel free to adapt or share it with your friends if you find it helpful. Let me know under the comment section if you found it helpful. If you have any other good practices that you believe would benefit the teaching fraternity, or any other pain points that you have encountered in your teaching workflow that you would like to solve, maybe we have some ideas that we can end up sharing. Okay. Thank you.